Okay, the measure of an angle formed by a chord and a tangent, this is another helpful hint, is equal to half the measure of the intercepted arc. So we can consider the tangent and the chord to be an inscribed angle of sorts when it comes to the relationship with the arc and the measure of the arc and the measure of the angle. So if the measure of the arc is 140 degrees, that means the angle ATP is going to equal 70 degrees. So here we are. We're gonna practice these ideas. We've got an intercepted arc. And if you just write this a couple of times, I'm sorry. I said we have an intercepted arc and I highlighted the angle. So here's our intercepted arc and here's our inscribed angle in yellow. So we have our inscribed angle. So if you say the inscribed angle equals half the arc, or you could say 2 times the angle equals the arc. Either one works. So the arc is twice as big as the angle, or the angle is half the arc. The angle is half the arc. The arc is twice, I like this in words, twice the angle. Okay, so we're looking for the angle measure, so it's going to be half the arc, so A is going to equal 1/2 of 1/16, which is 58 degrees. So A is equal to 58 degrees. Okay, here we have an arc that we need to find the measure of. We know that the angle is 90 degrees, so 90 times 2 is going to give us the measure of the arc. So whenever we're talking about the inscribed angle is going to be measure less than the arc. It will always be less than the arc. So A is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, here I have an arc of 82 degrees. I have an arc of 60 degrees, and then I have an arc that I don't know the measure of. But I can find it out because all the way around a circle is 360 degrees. So if I take 360 minus 82 minus 60, I'm going to get the measure of A. The measure of arc A, 360 minus 142, is going to equal 218. 218, if I did that correctly, 218 degrees. And then the angle, the inscribed angle, that's not a right angle, the inscribed angle right here, B, is going to be half of 218, which would be 109 degrees. Some of you are probably fast forwarding me right now, and that's fine. However, don't fast forward too much. I've got an angle that intercepts an arc, and I've got an angle that intercepts an arc. So I use color a lot here. So I'm going to start with those two. A degrees is going to be half of 108. So A degrees is going to be 54. So that measure is 54. B is going to be half of 60 degrees. So B is going to be 30 degrees. And then we have vertical angles are congruent and a triangle. A degrees plus B degrees plus C degrees equals 180 degrees in a triangle. So the triangle angle sum is 180. So 54 plus 30 plus C is equal to 180. C is going to equal 96 degrees. So A is equal to 54 degrees, B is equal to 30 degrees, and C is equal to 96 degrees. So again, we're using all sorts of cool things that we've learned in the past. Okie dokie smoky. We've got let's see, we've got 104 degrees right here. We have got 68 is attached to, let's look at that 68. I love that 68, and I like the 71 too. So look at the 71. 71 is attached to this whole thing. So that whole thing is going to be 2 times 71, which would be 142. So this whole thing is 142 degrees. So C is going to be 142 minus 104. So I get 38 degrees for C. Now that's good to know. That's good to know because 68 degrees is attached to that arc right there, and 68 degrees, 68 degrees is going to be 2 times 68 is 136. So this whole thing right here is 136, but part of it is 38, right? So if I take 36 minus 38, I'm going to get 98 degrees. So this part right here is 98 degrees. So I'm making my way all the way around the triangle. So I've got 98, 38, and 104. 98 plus 38 plus 104. I add those together. That's going to give me a 20. 12, 13, 14. So I've got 240 degrees. That's going to leave me B being 120 degrees. So that's good stuff right there. That's excellent stuff right there. So what is A? What is A? A is going to be half of 120 plus 104. So 120 plus 104, and I know what some of you are thinking, is 224, and half of that is 112. So this is 112 degrees. Now, some of you are saying, oh, we could have figured that out a while ago, because they're opposite angles, right? So the opposite angles of a quadrilateral that's inscribed in a circle are going to be supplementary. And you're absolutely right. But I wanted to prove to you that that was true, because some of you might not have thought that. So A is going to equal 112, B is equal to 120, and C is equal to 38 degrees. And it's a true story, and now we've proven it. Opposite angles of the quadrilateral are going to be supplementary when it's inscribed in a circle. So let's try that theory over here. That's going to make it extremely simple for us to find angle D. Angle D is going to be 80 degrees because 100 plus 80 makes the 180. And if D is 180, this entire arc right here is 160. Now 160 is made up of two parts. This part on the left and then this part on the right, that's B. We're going to need that B. C and 96 are also supplementary, so C is going to equal 84 degrees, making this arc that's A plus B, right? This arc that's A plus B is going to be twice that, which is 168. So I know that A plus B equals 168. That's a good thing to know. I know that something plus B is 160, but that something isn't labeled, so I'm not going to really worry about that right now. And then I've got this 99 degrees. So let me use my highlighter here. I've got this arc right here. This big arc is 168. And then I've got this arc is 99. And that's going to leave me this arc that I'll be able to find. So 168 plus 99 is 267. So 168 plus 99 is 267. I'm going to subtract that from 360, and I get 93 degrees. So this side that this arc that I don't really need to know, that it's not got a label attached to it, but it's 93 degrees. So this arc is 93 degrees. Now 93 plus B is equal to, look at this, it's equal to that 160. So now we know that B, if I take away 93, I'm going to get a 7, and I'm going to get a 6. 67, is that right? No. It's that subtraction again. I think it's right. It is right. I got it right. B is going to be 67 degrees. So I have A plus 67 equals 168. A is going to equal 101. So for this problem, A equals 101. B was equal to 67 degrees, and C was 84 degrees, and D was 80 degrees. Hot diggity dog. Next video, we've got 7 more problems to go. 7 more problems to go. These, I think, go a little bit faster, though. These go a little bit faster.